Hello and welcome to Eye of Gnosis Tarot. My name is Ewan and today we are looking at the last of the court cards in the Suit of Cups, known as the Princess of Cups. Now if you haven't done so already, I highly recommend looking at the Suit of Cups playlist to give much greater context to these cards, and I've done a video looking at the court cards in general, which would be very beneficial to watch before watching this video and the other court cards. Now, if you just want to see the Divinatory Interpretations of this card, I have put a timestamp down in the description, but as ever, please do watch this video at least once fully, so you have much greater context and understanding to your divination. So, without further ado, we shall look at the Princess of Cups. On the card, we see this emerald-skinned woman gracefully dancing in a flowing pink dress that looks like it has this scalloped design upon it, and it is lined with these geometric crystals. In her left hand she holds a lotus flower, which is white, and in her right hand we see this shell-like cup holding a tortoise. Behind our princess we see a swan taking flight, and the heraldic form of the dolphin, which looks very much like a fish, is leaping from the ocean, enveloping the princess, and we see she's dancing on the sand beneath the waves. So let's have a look a bit deeper at the Princess of Cups. The Princess of Cups is the earth of water and brings every aspect of her suit together. She represents the quality of water to give substance to something and to form the basis for biological life. She is the beauty and wonder of existence experiencing itself. The Ace of Cups is her home, and it is where she draws her beauty and grace, and to where she will return it. All princesses represent an impulse within awareness, and in the Princess of Cups we have the impulse to care and seek peace. She is the desire of the universe, or rather consciousness, to unite with itself and thus experience love. And this is something we talked about in the Two of Cups and the Ten of Cups. So please do go look at those videos for more context on love. Unlike her cousins, the Princess of Cups carries her altar rather than shielding it, showing that she is always in motion and never set in one place, an apt metaphor for emotion. The altar is the heart of her ace and is shaped like a shell bearing a tortoise. This tortoise is in fact the world turtle, found across many ancient beliefs, and is said to bear the entire world, or rather cosmos, upon its back. The world turtle can be seen as a metaphor for the mind, which lives within the shell of the ego and supports consciousness, which is of course the universe. The princess allows the energy of the Ace of Cups to flow down into Malkuth via consciousness, which is channeled through our chemical neurotransmitters, such as serotonin and oxytocin. Thus, she is literally the earth of water in the sense of matter's necessary existence so that consciousness may be experienced. In other words, consciousness, God, universe, needs a body in order to experience itself, and that body is of course ours. The princess bears a white lotus symbolising her enlightened status, and we go much deeper into this in the Ace of Cups video, which I highly recommend you watch. And she is quite aware of her nature and the part she has to play in consciousness's desire to be. Now, this heraldic dolphin we see that looks like a fish shares the same symbolic meaning as it did in the Two of Cups, expressing harmony, communication, protection, and love. And again, I recommend looking at that video for further information on the symbolism of dolphins. And also why heraldic dolphins look like fish. Meanwhile, the swan, acting as the princess's crest, is a universal symbol of purity, grace, beauty, and love. Indeed, in Vedic traditions, the swan is associated with Om, the first sound of creation, which we talked about again in the Ace of Cups. And thus, the swan is a divine bird in Hinduism and Buddhism. The swan is the mount of Saraswati, the divine feminine in its form of creating and the consort of Brahma. Saraswati is the origin of all art, music, writing, learning, and culture, and thus is a potent and fitting patron of our Princess of Cups. The scallop-like dress of the princess is lined with crystals, representing the crystallization of emotion in the physical realm, whether it is a smile, a longing sigh, or tears of grief. It is also related to the birth of Venus, or rather Aphrodite in the Greek religion, who was born in the sea and carried upon a great scallop shell. There is, of course, a famous painting done in the Renaissance of this. Swans and dolphins are animals of Venus, and her planet is exalted in Pisces. Venus in Cancer is, of course, the Two of Cups, and Venus in Scorpio is the Debauch card. And these also tell us about the other aspects of our princess. The emerald skin of the princess is also an evocation of Venus. Finally, the princess rules over the quadrant of the Decan wheel, which includes Libra, Scorpio, and Sagittarius. And while she is mainly focused on the qualities of these three signs, she also carries the energies of Cancer, Leo, and Virgo from the previous quadrant. All this is done in pursuit of the coming Pisces element, which she seeks in a partner, which is, of course, the Knight of Cups. However, such a partner would lead to a codependent relationship marred with sorrow. A more healthy relationship would be with the Prince of Wands, whose elements balance the pair, allowing for the birth of spirit. And we talk about this in the Five of Wands video. This subtle message is found within the 11 prominent fins on the back of this fish-like dolphin, and the 11 crystals on the princess's dress. And 11 is associated with the Lust card, Atu number 11, and the Prince of Wands, associated with Leo. So we see the passion in our princess. Now we're going to look at the divinatory interpretations of the princess, and in this section with the court cards, we also include a little bit of context with regards to people in our lives that may represent a princess of cups. The Princess of Cups is emotional depth and breadth, and encompasses the endless moment of falling in love. Whilst her brother, the Prince of Cups, leans towards the darker and more subtle nuances of emotion. The Princess of Cups embraces the beauty of emotion, whether it be subjectively seen as good or bad. She understands that there is an art in tragedy and comedy, and indeed they are the essential elements of a greater play that we call life. Whereas the prince uses the ego to enlighten itself through introspection and suffering, the princess does so through fantasy and love. The Princess of Cups is predominantly feminine in nature, no matter the gender. They are full of embracing virtues that we see in the Ace of Cups, and they joyously dance through their own being. Crowley summarises the Princess of Cups as thus: "They are infinitely gracious, all sweetness, all voluptuousness, gentleness, kindness, and tenderness are in her character. She lives in the world of romance, in the perpetual dream of rapture." These princesses are almost childlike in their innocence and are open to anything. Yet their innocence can be seen as naivety by some, and offers a tempting target to be exploited and even abused. Furthermore, they can be selfish and indolent at times. However, it must be noted that there is no intention behind these behaviours, and in reality they say more about the mindset of the observer than they do about the princess. The princess's openness can lead to emotional burnout and a deep need to have a relationship with others in order to feel fulfilled and complete. Alas, this is a futile goal, for by being everything to everyone, these princesses lose the originality that would satisfy their search. So in divination, the Princess of Cups is the embodiment of affection, gentleness, and grace. They have a keen intuition and can read a room, situation, or person with but a single glance. When well dignified, the card represents kindness, wanderlust, intuition, tenderness, sensitivity, imagination, and sweetness. When ill-dignified, the card can represent addiction, idleness, idle fantasies, selfishness, indolence, abuse of love, temptation, and delusion. Now, if you ever meet a Princess of Cups, you may well believe that you have stepped into a dream that never ends. Everything they do and say appears perfect and wholesome until it becomes quite clear that you can never give them as much as they can give you. So that has been the Princess of Cups. I hope you have enjoyed the video and found it useful and informative. And if you did, please do hit that like button. It really helps the channel. And of course, if you'd like to see more videos like this describing the Thoth Tarot deck, as well as readings I do for all the zodiac signs and tutorials for the different tarot spreads, then do hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you don't miss any future videos. So thank you once again for watching this video. We will be moving on to the Suit of Swords next time, and I will see you in that video. Goodbye, and may peace be upon you all.